Well, hello, everyone. So glad you could join us. This is a lifestyle segment with Inspired by Her Story. And today I have some women with wisdom. And our topic tonight is long distance grandparenting. And I'm sure there's a lot of women and a lot of families that are in this kind of situation. And families are so important. So we're gathering together and sharing some wisdom. So thank you so much, ladies, for coming tonight. And I would like you to introduce yourselves and where you live. And actually maybe share how many grandchildren that you have and who is long distance, in case there's different families. That's a lot of introductions, but this is just a fun, casual time. So yeah. Michelle, welcome.
Hello. Okay, I'm Michelle Lee. I live in Texas, and I have one granddaughter. She's 6 months old, and I live in the south part of the U.S. She lives in the north part of the U.S. So we're about 13 hours apart.
13 hours. Okay. That's quite a ways. Yep.
Yeah.
Sherry, thank
Hi.
you for joining tonight.
Thank you for having us. My name is Sherry and I live in Quebec, Canada. And I have 4 beautiful grandchildren. One of them lives 30 hours away in Manitoba. So that is my long distance grandchild.
Okay. And how old are your other grandkids?
10, 6, 5, and 3.
Okay. that felt like a trick question.
Yeah, I was like, let's see here.
When you get that many, it's hard to keep track of them.
Well,
They just grow up fast.
Not really. Honestly, it's not.
Okay. But they grow up fast though. Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Joy, welcome.
Hi, I'm Joy Farrow, and I live in Vancouver, Washington. And I have 12 grandchildren that are long distance.
12 are.
Wow.
Oh wow. Do you have any that are close?
No, the closest, 2 of my daughter and son live in about 5.5 hours south of me, and then my other daughter lives in Alabama. So I have 6 grandchildren in Alabama and 6 grandchildren in Klamath Falls, Oregon.
And how old are they, Joy?
Oh gosh, that's a trick question.
Okay, 12.
Yes, my oldest grandson is going to be 22 in September.
Wow.
And then they range all the way to 2.5.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot to remember. That's a lot of birthdays to remember.
Yes, we have 3 grandchildren that we buy birthday presents for in September, just in September. So,
Wow. Wow.
yeah.
Well, then you've been at this long distance grandparenting for a while.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's fun. That's fun. I have some specific questions. Now we all parent differently, so we're going to be grandparenting differently too. So the first question I have is, are there any creative ways that you found to bridge the physical gap and stay involved with their lives?
Well, mine's 6 months, so we FaceTime all the time. And that's been really wonderful because 6-month-olds, well, infants, they don't have a very long memory. And so like especially right before we see her, we do a lot of FaceTiming. And the first time we saw her after we had been FaceTiming, when she was actually recognizing people, she kept like touching me. Like it was so weird that I wasn't in the little box.
Right.
It was hilarious. And then we did this little thing where I would ask her if I could pick her up, and I would do this. Now, this is when we're there in person. I was doing this to her just to ask her if it was okay if I picked her up. Well, then after we came home and we were FaceTiming, she kept reaching out to the thing and doing this.
Ah.
And so anyway, that was just like super sweet. Loved that.
Oh, good. That's
Yeah.
good. Well, that sounds like a really fun idea, Michelle, and interesting how she would react to the, to hand motions. Yeah, that's great. Did you have some more ideas, or just
I mean, I probably will as she grows. Sometimes I do sing to her when we're FaceTiming, and sometimes my daughter will put her in a little chair or something and prop the cell phone in front of her. And most of the time she's just like chewing on something or whatever. She doesn't really care that I'm there. But if I start singing to her, she's glued. But her mom and dad both sing. So she already has a love for music. But anyway, so that's kind of been our little thing. I'll sing to her when we're FaceTiming.
what's just making that personal connection?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Sherry, I know now, Sherry, you used to be, you had a daycare?
No, I had a junior kindergarten,
Okay.
a series of them. Yeah,
So you have some ideas.
I
And-
do.
and
And it's really fun to use them with my grandkids, that's for sure.
I'm sure, yes.
Yeah.
So can you give us some examples of your creativeness?
Well, my little granddaughter who lives in Manitoba, as I said, 30 hours away, I was very concerned that she wouldn't know me, wouldn't love me, wouldn't care about me, because it was such a great distance. And some of the younger parents aren't as comfortable on the phone as we all are, as we grew up talking on the phone for hours, right?
Right.
So what I started to do, she spoke to a girl, a colleague at work, and she said, well, her grandma always sent her special cards all the time. And now that she was a young adult, they're just very, very, very close. And so I started sending her little videos and little gifts, maybe from the dollar store or whatever, sometimes something better than that. But like, I've just found a video here. Happy birthday to you. So happy birthday to you. So happy birthday, dear Emerson. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sweetie. I love you so much, and I hope you liked your present. And hopefully we'll see you soon. Mwah! Love you, Emerson. Have fun. Bye. So I send little things like that to her all the time. And on Monday, actually, Amazon is going to deliver a little package to her. So often it's just a little something from the dollar store, like $2 or $3, $4 or $5, whatever, and a card and, a video. But last time I was chatting with her on the phone, on FaceTime, she said, she would like this little puppy purse. So I'm sending her a little puppy purse from Amazon. But it's amazing that has worked. And I've done that consistently. She's 6 years old now. And when I go to see her, she just runs and hugs me, and it's just lovely. And it's like we are very connected. And I'm astounded how well that has worked over all, the 6 years that we've had the pleasure of having Emerson in our family.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Sherry, I remember you telling me that you had recorded yourself reading a book.
I've read books to her, sang songs. I've made, crafty things, that sort of thing with her. And certainly when I go there, we do all of that.
Yeah. Did you record a book though and send her the recording, or how did you do that?
I just read her a book on video. So any ideas like that, just as Michelle was saying, just to connect, it really pays off. And it's astounding that even though you have this great distance, that you are connected. Actually, she sent me something that's very special. I just thought of it here. She sent me this, and it's Emerson from Brandon and Grandma in Gatineau, Quebec. And it's just, And it
Oh.
says there's a place deep down inside that only grandkids know. It links them to the grandmother no matter where they go. And even when it's really hard to be so far apart, the distance doesn't ever touch the love within their hearts.
Oh,
Oh, that's so
You know,
nice.
it's beautiful and special and a treasure, and it's true. You think naturally I might be closer to the three grandchildren I have around me. I might know them better, but I don't know that I'm closer to them. We all say, oh, we all love our children and grandchildren equally, but I do. I adore her. And we have, thank God, a very special connection. And so I feel extremely blessed. I do.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. Now, Joy, how do you keep up with your 12 grandchildren?
oh gosh, it's a marathon. I do a lot of messenger calls with all
Mhm.
my grandchildren. And the ones that live in Klamath, I belong to a women's ministry, so I get to go to Klamath Falls a lot. So I get to engage with them. But when I'm talking, we're just doing silly things, or the olders that have telephones, I'm sending them funny memes. And I'm the crazy yaya. And and so I'll do, videos with pom poms and just cheering them on, or making signs, for their first day of school, or things, just things like that. And I really spend a lot of time on Messenger and engaging in talking to them, and seeing how their day is, and and they all get excited. I have two of my grandsons are going to be 5. One was born September 11th, and the other one October 17th. So they're 5 weeks apart. And so they're in this creative, like, look, yeah. And so they're showing me things while I'm talking to them, and they're building things, and they're creating. And then I have 2 granddaughters that one, it is 3.5, and the other one's gonna be 3. And so I just engage with their, talking about their little purses, or their, just things like that. And then the older ones, I just engage with funny stuff and serious stuff. They know that they can talk to me, and I'm there. So
That's awesome. Just like, I mean, it's been good that technology has changed, because that does make it easier for sure.
oh yeah, I don't know what I would do without technology, especially for my grandkids that are in Alabama. And I don't, and they just have this busy, there's 6 of them. So, my daughter's just running everywhere. So it's like trying to get a time in for them. But yeah, if I didn't have technology, because I see them maybe once every 2 years or once a year, to fly to Alabama. So.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing. So I have a different question. Can you share a particular story about a time when you felt really close to your grandchild despite the miles between you? And how did you make that moment special? Anybody want to start? And Joy, I don't expect you to have one for every grandchild.
I know, I'll just do one. I'll just do one.
Michelle, do you have like a special moment?
Well, I think the first time I sang to her, and she just kind of froze and started paying attention, because she had been, like sucking on her fingers or whatever. I think she was 3 or 4 months old. And then after this last trip when we were there, and she saw me on the phone and did that was just like, that melted my heart.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of fun hearing Sherry and Joy, because these are things I get to look forward to, and I'm getting ideas from them too.
Yes. Well, and that's the point of all of this, right? Just,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, the people who are going to be watching later will get ideas and share with their friends, because you know, everyone has a different way of doing this, but it's important to share. That's part of our stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sherry, do you have a special time? Can you think of a
I
special
think,
moment
well,
that was
last Christmas
particularly
when I was
great?
there, I went there a few days before Christmas, and you know, you never know how you're going to be greeted because you haven't seen them in a long time. And she just ran to me, Grandma, and gave me a great big hug, and it was just so delightful. It was a lovely special surprise, and yeah, it you know, it's really, it just melts your heart. It's lovely. It really is. So you're a little apprehensive because you don't know.
Yeah.
And but if you make the effort, and you know what, it is an effort. But if you make the effort, it's so the dividends are so worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
It pays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Joy, how about you? Special moment?
Gosh, there's so many. They're all special. But and it's something that my daughter and I laugh all the time because her son Malachi, he's gonna be 5. But when Yaya and Grandpa come and I surprise him a lot because I come into town for the ministry, so he won't know I'm there. And then I walk in and he screams like a teenage schoolgirl when he sees me. That's what we laugh about because it's
That's so cute.
but Brianne and I, my daughter and I were just like, yeah, he's just screams like a teenage schoolgirl when he sees Yaya.
So, and that's what they call you, Yaya?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
My oldest grandson, who's going to be 22, I said, whatever he calls me, that's what I'm going to be. And he reached out to me and said, yeah. And I go, oh my gosh, that's who I am. I'm Yaya. And then I found out that it does mean grandma in Greek.
Really?
I didn't
And
know
I
that.
go, oh, my grandson, not only did he's just talking different languages and stuff.
Well, my granddaughter, her name is Freya, and she has always called herself Yaya. She's only 3.
Oh,
So it's interesting, eh? Yaya. Her brother, Logan, she calls him Go-Go.
Oh, how
And I'm
sweet.
sure it'll stick the rest of their lives. Yaya and
Yeah,
Go-Go.
it will.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
I came so close to being a Yaya.
Really?
Really?
I did. I'm a Mimi because my name's Michelle. My daughter was like, let's do Mimi. So I ended up as a Mimi. But Yaya was one of my top choices. I just love that. It's so fun.
It's so funny. Yeah.
So there's lots of different traditions with families, especially with like different occasions. And so when we raise our own kids, we have these traditions, and we're trying, you know, wondering how we can take that to the next generation. So have you been able to develop or keep any of your family traditions with your grandchildren? I mean, it might be starting school or losing teeth or Thanksgiving, holidays, birthdays. Do you have any traditions that you've been able to keep long distance wise?
My grandma, when I was a little girl, she'd have me on her lap, and she'd put her mouth to my ear, and she'd go, Boise, 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 and then she'd go in my ear. And of course we giggle and laugh. And my son subconsciously does that with Emerson in Manitoba. And he didn't realize, I must have done it with him as well as a child. And he didn't realize where that even came from, you know, some dark recess of his mind, this Boise, Boise. And so when I go there, I do Boise, Boise with her. So that is a tradition that has transcended across the miles, you know, from the West Coast where I was raised to the middle of Canada, the center of Canada, Brandon, all the way to the east where I live now. So yeah,
And
Boise,
generations.
of Boise. And
Yeah.
it's funny, like I was there last time and I did Boise with her, and he said, and she looked at me and she started laughing. She knew what it was, and he said, I do that with her. I said, oh, I must have done that with you. So anyway, that's kind of a silly thing, but fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Michelle?
Okay, so this is kind of funny that she said that because, you know, my granddaughter's only 6 months old, so we don't have a lot of tradition yet. But one thing my mother-in-law used to do with all the grandkids was she would do this thing where she would go, old hawk come sailing around, and she would do it several times, and then she'd go, got him a chick, 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 and then she would not pretty much tickle him. Well, anyway, my husband, you know, she was doing that to my daughter. My husband was doing that to my daughter her whole grown up life. And so we were FaceTiming one evening and they were already doing it to Ellie. She's just learning how to laugh and they're already attacking her with the hawk. But it was fun to see that was
Yeah.
getting passed on. But yeah.
Yeah, oh, that's good. That's good. Joy, do you have any ideas? Any
Yes,
suggestions?
this is when I see my grandkids. Started it with my son, and I call it tasty morsels. And I chase him around. I go, I'm gonna get those tasty morsels, and and I just kiss him, and so I do that with all the kids, and it's a chase game too. So every time I like the littles, I'll come over and they'll come up to me, tasty morsels. And then I have to go, oh, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get the tasty morsels, and then chase them around and they love it. And it's just all this laughter. And then with Liam, my older grandson, I created a new tradition because he comes up and stays with us for like a month out of the year. So
Wow.
Yeah, well, it started off when he came for like a weekend when he was 3 years old, and then it's just built up. He's 13 now. So I started this tradition with him called Breakfast of Champions. And it's the first day he's with me, and I give him scrambled eggs, fruit, bacon, and Oreo cookies. And that's the Breakfast of Champions. His first breakfast with Yaya when he comes to visit.
That's sweet.
So the new tradition.
Yeah, it's a new tradition with us. It's something that I kind of created with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's to Yaya and Grandpa's house.
Oh,
I
that's
think
fun.
it's an extension of tasty morsels. It sounds like.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Pretty tasty.
Older, so
Yeah.
So what about like a special holiday like Christmas? How do you do, or do you do anything different for Christmas? Or how do you celebrate Christmas with your long distance?
I am so blessed that I usually get to be with the ones in Klamath for Christmas, and my daughter, because my son and daughter live like 5 minutes apart from each other, so either or house, and she's my Christmas, like she's ready for Christmas in the beginning of November. I mean, she'll bypass the fall stuff if she could, she just wants to get right into the Christmas stuff. But we have a Portuguese tradition. On Christmas morning, I make it soaks for like 2 weeks. It's called pickled pork. It soaks. I get and then we make Portuguese sweet bread, which is Hawaiian sweet bread, and make some eggs, and it's our breakfast. We've been doing this since I was little. This came from my mom, and then it's passed down to me, and then now my daughter, and my son, and if I'm in Alabama, then it goes there too. But yeah, that's a tradition that we've carried on, and it came from her mom, so it's, yeah.
So how do how do you do Christmas with your long distance grandkids?
It's just on the phone and, what did you get? And so they have to show me everything that they get. And then my daughter in Alabama, she's doing the same traditional breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's doing the breakfast with the grandkids there. So, we're all talking about how hot is your Bangladesh? And, so it's connected in that way.
Do you have cameras, or not cameras, but do you have phones, FaceTiming?
Oh yeah, Messenger. Yeah. We're looking at each other, we're talking, I'm being a part of their Christmas.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So you can watch them open gifts.
Oh yeah. Or because of the time difference, they'll just say, this is what I got, and this is what I got,
That's right. Yeah, because you're maybe a couple hours behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's too long. That's much too long to wait on Christmas morning.
Yeah, you're not gonna wait. Heck with ya. I'm opening up my present.
We'll show her later. Sherry, what about you? How do you do Christmas long distance?
Well, it's kind of hard because, we don't get to see them often at Christmas. My son's in the military. My daughter-in-law is a nurse, often has to work through the holidays. Last year was very special because I got to be with them for the first time ever on Easter.
Oh.
And I was there, just a few days prior to Christmas for the first time. And that was just so special. But mostly if they do come here to Ottawa or to Quebec, it's just such joy. It's so much fun. And my two daughters just appreciate having their brother and his family here.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. But if we have to be apart, we always call them during our dinner. We always have a call with them, FaceTime. And that part that makes it special. And when I was able to see Emmy at Easter last year, I always do a treasure hunt for my grandchildren here, and I go to a lot of effort to make this treasure hunt happen. So I did that for her there. So that was kind of fun that we were able to share that similar tradition. But yeah, that's you do what you can do. Mm-hmm. And you just really do appreciate the times we are together. It's just so special.
Yes.
And we fills your heart.
Oh, it does. Like we just
your heart. Yeah.
Love having meals together when they're here, regardless of when it is. It's just wonderful to have everybody together. So
yeah. Well, that's good. So of course, being a grandparent is different than our grandparenting styles are different than parenting styles. So there's always that balance of wisdom and respect in there as well. So that's always important too. Do you have anything else you want to add to to just share with the viewers? Any tips? We're so lucky to have technology the way it is now. Years ago, we were writing letters and an actual phone call. We knew someone's voice. And Michelle, I was thinking when you were talking about your little one recognizing you from the phone, it's like I was relating kind of to watching a show. When we're watching a show on TV, and it's you start to not relate to the people, but it's like, oh, I know them. I really know them. Like my friend, So you're like the real life celebrity that came to.
That's good analogy. That's really good.
Yeah, you're the real life celebrity that came to visit.
All right. That's all right. That's so cool. What a fun way to look at that. Well,
and so it's a way for us to relate to that, because when we're watching a series on TV or a regular show, we get connected to these people, and sometimes we'll forget they're actors, and it's like, oh my gosh, I know them. Yeah. Oh, that's when I met so and so. Because they showed up in that series 3 or whatever.
Yes.
So yeah, there you go, Michelle. You showed up in person, the celebrity.
That's right. It's
Yeah.
pretty fun.
So, and anyone else have any comments about just some encouragement for other
Make the
grandmas?
effort. Make the effort. It is 150% worth it.
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like, whether it be FaceTime or Messenger or cards or little packages arriving in the mail, or tonight I am going to make her a video and send her another video saying, Grandma has a special surprise coming for you.
Yes.
And her parents, her mom told me that these little videos, she plays them over and over and over for her on the TV because she wants to see them.
That's
so
good.
It's not just watching it for 30 seconds. She rewatches it and rewatches it and rewatches it.
Yeah.
And so she does really feel connected. She calls me Grandma Sherry, and she feels really connected to Grandma Sherry.
Yeah.
So make the effort. It's so worth it. It's just wonderful to be. If I hadn't, we would be strangers.
Yeah.
We definitely, because I don't get to see her very much. So we would be strangers, which would be such a shame.
Have you been able to share any of your faith?
I do my best to do that. It's their family doesn't go to church, so it's hard, but I do talk about Jesus, and I do pray for her, say her prayers before bed, and I try to be respectful but still share my faith at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where that balance of wisdom and respect.
Yeah.
Right?
It's very true, right? But
well, and singing the little songs that we grew up with.
Right. I do a little prayer song with my kids and my grandkids, and so
that's good. Joy, now you often are in kids ministry, so
yeah. And my grandkids are a part of one of my kids ministries. So, and my kids were raised like totally, they were in church three times a week and all that. So with my grandkids, I just have like total freedom, even with the spouses and everything to, because it's just so important, and my kids see that it's important too. So so I get to share my faith all over the place.
All over the place.
And I do want to say too, to future grandparents, that it's such a it's such a gift and a reward from God to have grandchildren. It's pretty amazing. And to be able to speak into another generation, and to not have all where being a grandparent, we get to do a lot of the fun stuff. I mean, we need to cover them in prayer and all that, but we get to do this fun stuff. And my kids even say, I think you love your grandkids more than you did us. And I go, I had to raise you guys,
Yeah,
so it's a blessing.
Yeah, for sure. I forgot what I was going to say.
I do remember one thing you reminded me when Joy was talking. Linda and I used to go to the same church in Brandon. I remember the pastor one day, I was standing at the front for prayer, and he said, because of you and your faith and your prayers, your family line is saved.
That's right.
Wow.
It's so true.
And I said, okay. And he said, don't you know what I'm saying to you? And I did, but it was I just had to process it. And I see the fruit of that.
Yes.
I see it. And it's because of my faithful prayers. And the more I pray, the more I see
Oh, yes. That's
with
so-
my children. And we had a lot of tragedy in our family, so they kind of left their walk with the Lord. But I see a lot of fruit coming back.
Mhm.
And so encouragement to grandparents out there.
Oh, yeah.
You're
Keep
the
praying.
key. You're the key. So
Yes.
again, make that effort daily to pray for your grandchildren and your children. Don't stop.
Mhm.
Don't stop. Because I see the fruit. It's amazing. Like I see it. I witness it. And those words resonate with me. And this has been probably 15 years since I heard those words from my pastor. But they resonate, and just don't stop praying for your grandbabies and your children. Like you're the key.
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
You're the matriarch of the family. Like that's your job.
Yeah.
So
And
good.
I think in these days, a lot of families moving around too.
Right.
Not necessarily staying in the town that they grew up in. So there are more families that are apart. There's a lot of families that are split. So there's long distances with grandparents in that situation too, where they just don't have access. So there's that too. So when we're talking about prayer for grandchildren, it's that's a gift to be able to pray for them and into we maybe don't know what kind of school they're going to, or we don't know much about what's going on long distance. I mean, we talk to them, but we don't know who their friends are. We don't, that kind of long distance stuff. We don't know details. So that's where our prayers can really make a difference. Just that God would choose their friends and that he would go before them and
Unbelievable,
all of that, guard their hearts, guard their minds.
Like my grandson, he has, kids that take him to youth group. Right? Prayers work and
You do.
and just don't cease.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Make that commitment every day to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Well, thank you so much for sharing all these ideas. And I think it's great that we had different ages in the grandchildren. And just, different stories and different, lots of different creative ideas that you've been sharing tonight. So thank you so much. And I'm sure that a lot of the viewers will be inspired by your stories. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.
bye,
And-
ladies.
Bye, ladies. God bless.
And if people are new as a viewer here, please subscribe to the channel and share with your friends. Bye-bye
Yeah.
for now.
Bye.
Bye.